Dog, I I'm not getting married, dog. Like for what? That shit's overrated.
What? Overrated? What's overrated? I hope you're not talking about marriage.
Dog, marriage. I feel like it's just a piece of paper that solidifies your relationship. Like you don't need a piece of paper to feel that connection. You don't need that.
Yo, my man said a piece of paper. Oh nah, we stopping this. Yo, let's start it off, man. This is crazy. My man said a piece of paper.
A piece of paper.
Yo, we back.
Yeah, we back. Welcome back to Devon Heights. You know we're back with episode 3. I know we're moving a little fast, but we got to. We're definitely surprised at how many views, likes, and shares we've gotten from this show. Like we had to come back with episode 3. As you can
Why
see, we're
make the people wait?
yo.
Why?
Why making weight? As you can see, the scenery is a little different. We're actually in the lab now, so
Had to move up to the east side.
there we go. Moving on up.
There you go. There you go. All right. All right. Now, I got a little too preemptive, and I had to make sure I went straight to the intro because this piece of paper, Dev, like, nah, man.
Piece
Like,
of paper,
listen.
dog.
All right, let me set the record straight. Your boy is definitely married,
There we
and
go.
I definitely think marriage is way more than a piece of paper. Now, easy, maybe not. But more than a piece of paper, absolutely so. To death do us part, and we will get into all that. But you know what?
Mm,
Let's just make this a Q and A, man. So I tell you what,
Q&A.
if you got any questions, and it can be as real as they need to be because you're my bro, so we already know, hit me up with the questions. And oh, let's pause this. If y'all have any questions, make sure you hit it in the comment section, and definitely make sure you hit that subscribe because we're definitely doing episode after episode after episode. So the more you hit that like, the more we post up tonight. Let's go.
Yo, real talk. Make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe because a lot of people been hitting me with feedback, but yo, hit them in the comments.
So we
Gotta
can
hit them
make
in the
sure we
comments.
make the show better for what y'all want to see. That's why we're here. That's what we do.
There we go. All right, so Q&A. Let's see. If I
And just
had
let them fly, cause I can't wait to a piece of paper,
uh
my guy, a
all right,
piece of
so
paper.
you feel strongly about marriage as you should, as anybody should. So, what do you think
Oh, now let's go
is a
back to that. What did you say? Let's hit that again. You said sprung when I got married.
oh, strong you
Now,
So, let's see. Now, go ahead, go ahead.
now I was gonna say now I will definitely tell you I don't think it was a sprung, but it was something different.
Mhm.
And I will explain it like this. To me, sprung is like, oh, I'm blowing up. I can't wait to see it type stuff like that. This marriage thing, and it's no disrespect to the wife, but it's this marriage thing was different. And like I said, and I think I told you this one time, it's a sense of peace. It's different. It's different than sprung. Like sprung is like, oh man, I just bagged this bad joy in the club. Like I can't wait
Yeah.
to hit her up. Like that's more sprung. To me, it was like, yo, we could literally be sitting on a couch watching TV, and I just got like this weird sense of like peace. Like, huh,
Mhm.
huh. I don't got to do nothing. I'm entertained, and I'm just good. Like that was the. That's when I knew. Wait, this is a little different. This isn't the regular like, oh, this is the same type of everyday thing that you do. Now that was a little different. So I won't say sprung. I'm gonna throw a curveball in that. It was a sense of peace that I've never felt. That was the difference.
I like that. So it was different. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was different because you can really just chill and feel peaceful and really just chill and just be peaceful. It wasn't something like yo. I feel like I have to do this, or I feel like I gotta make a move, or I feel like I gotta do X, Y, and Z. It was really just y'all are vibing and enjoying each other's company, and that was something that's
Absolutely,
different because
absolutely.
I know you. I know you. So it was different, right? That's not what you that's not what you were
Absolutely
used to.
not what I do. Absolutely
Got you.
not. And I'll tell you another thing, like, and I hate to bring it back, but I mean like, literally saying, like, my confidence wasn't like, cocky anymore. Like that was another thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, nah, she's cool, but it humbled me too, because like what she did for a living, because she's a doctor. So it was like,
Yeah.
whoa, like I'm a teacher, you're a doctor. How we gonna work this thing out? Like, are you gonna look at me less because you make more money, or like what's that situation? So it wasn't in a sense of like, oh, it's different, but it was. But I don't want to jump too ahead of the questions. But once you said
Yeah.
that sprung thing, it was different, and that's what attracted me back to the situation. Like, wait, this really isn't Zoe. Like, you know Zoe. Like, it's not really Zoe. Like, wait, settle it
Yes.
down. Wait a hold on. So that was different.
Okay. All right. What is your favorite thing about marriage or being married? If you had to pick one thing, now I know there's probably a lot of things. Obviously, there's a lot of things because you're married. But if you just had to pick one thing about marriage that you truly love,
That's a
what would
good
that
one.
one thing? What would that one thing be?
Um, to be honest, I think it's a fact that like, in a sense of like, it's not another adventure per se. Like, it is set in stone. Like, this is who it
Mm,
is.
I like that.
This is who it is. This is what it's gonna be. Not like, all right, I'll date here for a couple times, but I'm definitely still peeping out here. It's again like a sense of peace. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm
Yeah.
good. It's final. This is the death do us part, and I'm fine with that. Like, I am actually fine with that. There's nothing that I'd be like, uh, might need to go hit the drawing board again.
Yeah.
But like,
So,
it's like I'm good. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think a guy just knows like, I'm good right here. Like, and trust me, and I'm gonna be completely transparent. There's never gonna be a time where a guy's just like, oh, I'm not looking at no other women. Not about
oh,
that.
thank you.
It is about the pursuit of other women. You're always gonna be a man, point blank and period. But the pursuit that
Yeah.
you take is gonna be different. Like, you'd be like, oh yeah, she tough. Matter of fact, I'll be honest. Like, I've told my girlfriend before, and my wife, should I say, yo, she got a big butt. And she's like, she
Mm-hmm.
does. And I can keep it real. Again, that we said the qualities about wife, you got to be able to be honest. I can be honest.
Real,
And
real
and
talk.
that's not disrespectful to her. Because, of course, I'm going to say some flirty stuff back to her. Be like, yeah, but a little something in the back ain't really got the brains like you got. Those are the worry about all that. Like, it'll be a complimentary type conversation. So it's where
Real
she's not
talk.
feeling disrespected. But it's just the simple fact that, I mean, naturally I'm gonna glance, but it doesn't mean that I'm all up in it. And like, yo, you act like you're my sister real quick while I go handle this. I've done that
and
before, but not in a marriage
it,
situation. So
yeah,
like,
and the crazy thing is that can go into a whole nother episode. Like that really can. Just the fact that you can say, "Hey, Shorty got this, Shorty got that," but being comfortable, like that can
yep.
go into a whole nother episode. I
And
like that though. So is it more so like you said, you know what to expect? It's not. It's not a. Or maybe you didn't say that. It's like not an adventure. So since you're married, correct me if I'm wrong. You kind of know what to expect from your partner now. If let's say, for example, my guy over here dating Shorty for X amount of months or whatever.
okay,
I feel like they might not know what to expect because they're still getting to know that person. Now, granted, when you're married, I feel like you get to know them every day, even if it's even if it's like the littlest thing. But when you're married, you kind of know what to expect, right? That's why it's kind of like not an adventure because you kind of know things about your person.
quite the opposite, my guy. And let me tell you
Ooh.
why. And let me tell you why. Um, so we're gonna get personal. So, like, we have levels of conversation that we just graduated to, probably like 5 years in the game. Like,
Okay.
there was times when we first got married that, of course, like, you really don't want to go too in depth because you don't know the type of situation, but yet you
Mhm.
do want to know, so you don't really fully engage because you're like, yo, as long as it's nothing, like we said, no 80 body story hanging
Whoa,
around,
whoa,
like,
whoa.
like, as
Hey,
long as it's nothing like that, we'll work towards getting there. But um there's a lot of misconstruities when you first get married. Perfect example, that's a funny story, right? So um we were driving around Newport News when we were dating, right? And
shout out to the news one time for the
shout
one
out to
time.
Newport News, VA. That was definitely the home. Shout out to J. Clive
Ah,
Morris. Shout out to Uptown. Shout out to
hey,
Downtown. Shout out.
courthouse
You know it. You
everywhere.
know it.
You about to give me ice?
Yo, I'm sorry, and definitely shout out to Denby, my growing
Oh
oaks
my
right
God.
there. Uh, yo, so we were driving around Newport News over in Town Center, and we drove by the Marriott. Now, for me, a little weird like thing about me, like I like staying in hotels, right? So I told Shorty, I said, yo, I randomly, like we were just saying, yo, name something I don't know about you. I was like, yo, I randomly stay in hotels and I love to throw towels on the floor. She goes, me too. Oh my gosh, I love staying in hotels. So I'm like, yo, that's what's up. Now, this conversation came up 2 years later, and she took the conversation as sorry, not even 2 years. This probably was like a year later. No, I'd say 2 years later because that's when we started moving overseas. So 2 years later, she's looking at these hotels that are like $500 and $600, and I'm like, yo, a night. So I'm like, yay, what? Like, I like staying in hotels. No, you said you were a bougie hotel stayer. I never said that. Like, I never said that. Where did you get that from? No, remember that night we were driving around Newport News and you looked at the Marriott and you said, yo, that's a really nice hotel. And I said, no. I said, and I quote, I like staying in hotels and throwing towels on the floor. I know what I said because I'm the one that said it. So
Yeah.
with these situations, you start to find out exactly what that person meant when they said it. It was like, oh, we kind of like the same things, but we really don't. Like, really don't.
Got you.
You know, like another thing, like rap. Like, I like lyrical content rap. She really went to school in New Orleans, so she likes that, like, bounce and hey baby, you know, like all that type
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like baby rap and like, you know, Lil Wayne before he started getting lyrical. She likes that. So I can say,
Yeah.
yo, I like rap. She could say, oh, I like rap too. We got something in common. We probably don't because it's two different types of rap. Like Soulja Slim is her favorite rapper. I would never say my favorite rapper is Soulja Slim ever in
No.
life. No disrespect to Soulja Slim, rest in peace. But I would never say that. Like, I would probably, if I had to pick somebody in that genre, I might go to Turk or Lil Wayne. I don't know if I'd go to Soulja Slim. I don't
Real
know.
talk.
So that's what I mean by like, you know them, but you really might not know them. And the conversations, of course, get deeper and deeper and deeper because then another thing is going to be like little traditions. We talked a little bit about this before. Like, what do you expect to really happen during Christmas? Like, naturally, people just know, like, well, we go to my parents' house, we might watch Home Alone 1 and 2, save that for the night before Christmas, and then we go into opening gifts in the morning. Shorty might be like, no, we watch the Christmas Story and we watch the Grinch, and then we wake up at Christmas and we have a glass of eggnog, and then we do sing Kumbaya, and then we open gifts. You learn as you go, but it's not something that you're thinking about before you put a ring on it. Nobody's sitting there like, what is your process for Christmas? Tell me now, please.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Like, that's what you start to learn, but then you start to learn how to mesh each other's likes. And some of them, you know, you might let it rock, or Shorty might let it rock to where you're just like, oh yeah, that's cool. We can do that. I never thought about that. That's different for me. Then it keeps it interesting. Perfect example, like, we'll keep it to the Christmas time thing. Like, she likes to do like a gift before we leave a trip and a gift after we come back, so the kids got something to look forward to. Like, for me, it was just like we do a gift before we go on the road, but we open up everything, take all the gifts to the grandparents' house or wherever we going to have that type of situation. So it's you know, you learn different things about each other to where you can experience it together. And sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not gonna work, but you know,
Yeah.
that is what it is. But that, I think that's one thing that's cool. Like, it's always a learning journey.
Got you. Okay, so to bounce off that, what one thing that you think is difficult about marriage?
Man, let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now, and this is unedited, uncut. The first argument was the realest thing for me in life. And you know why? For me, like, I never like to let somebody get me hot. Like, I hate that.
Oh,
I hate
dog.
it. So what happens is, if I start feeling myself build up in my single days, I would hit the girl with a smooth, yo, I'm gonna let you chill for a second, and I'm going to go because I already know how I'm gonna get. Or it would be vice versa if that's at my crib. Yo, honestly, we need some time to regroup. I'm not saying we're breaking up, but like, we need some time to regroup. Let me play the game. Let me go holler at the fellas. Like, we definitely need to take a break. Let me tell you something right now.
Let's
The
hear it.
first
Let's hear it, Hype.
argument, dog, there was no I'm going to my man's crib. And it made it even worse because we're overseas. Who do I know over in England? Like, I'm not going nowhere fast. Like, I
Yeah.
can't just walk around the neighborhood crazy because I don't want to get nobody in trouble out here. Like, I literally, and I will say married couples are literally, this is all you got. Especially if you don't
Hmm.
have no kids, this is all you got. So the argument was the hardest thing to be like, because then I'm like, man, I can really get mad right now. Like, and I don't like that. I have nowhere
Right.
to go. And then it's the fun. I just want to talk. I don't want to talk. So then, you start building that up and like, I'm not used to it's uncomfortable. I don't like sitting here and having to take this and talk about. I don't like it. I don't like it. I want my break.
Dog.
I want my break. And there is no break. So what you have to learn how to do, man, I wish I had my little cue card square, is you really have to learn how to do healthy arguments. My Lord in heaven. I still ain't mastered. Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. But like you
Yeah.
really gotta learn how to do healthy arguments. Perfect example. You can't say, yo, you always or you never. That is a murderer of all conversations. And that definitely is a topic for another day. How to argue
Yeah.
fair, something like I don't know what we need to call it. But that was one of the biggest things for me. Like realizing if we get upset, yo, we gotta squash it, and making
Hmm.
sure you don't leak those conversations to your friends or your parents or their mom or
Exactly.
their mom. Like you can't leak. That's got to stay in house. You go out, it can't be like y'all in the grocery store. You looking at her like, yo, man, I can't stand this girl. You are married to her. Like I'm old school, so it is definitely gonna be a death to us part type situation. Like it might not work for
Gotcha.
everybody. I'm not saying that's the golden rule, but I'm trying to strive towards that daily. So that's a hard thing for me to be able to be like, I gotta be mad at you, but I still gotta go home with you, and I don't like it. I don't like
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah,
real though.
dog. I like that, yo. I like that. I didn't think about it like that, but I like that because I mean, if you married, like, especially if you're overseas, definitely, where you gonna go?
Nowhere,
But over there,
nowhere.
like, you gotta fix it. Like, so do you think, and this kind of goes into something else, but do you think that not being in somewhere foreign and not having friends helps when you have arguments? Because
Yo, let me tell you something right now. It was a lot of family drama on both sides, so I will definitely say, I probably saved us a year and a half of drama though, and then it
yeah,
forced you to be like, yo, this is all you got. And like I said, we didn't come into the marriage with kids, so like it literally was, this is all you got. Like
got you.
this is gonna be your best friend. Because then again, remember the time schedule difference too. It wasn't like I could just hit my boys up after we argue. It might be like 2 o'clock in the
Real
morning.
talk.
Like I'm not trying to disrupt whatever they got going on. It's not like it's 8 o'clock here, it's 8 o'clock there. Like that was a big thing. And then when we went to Japan, then it was even more crazy because now we talking a 12-hour time frame difference. So like I will definitely say it, and I don't want to say this in a bad way, like it forced me to like love her different, but like I'll tell you what,
Hmm.
it forced me to learn how to argue healthy. I tell you that
Yeah,
much because at the end of the day, we live in a foreign country. It's just me
got
and
you.
her, and that's all we got.
Got you. All right, so this is one of the questions I always like to ask
Here we go.
men that get married. I've never asked a woman this question, but I'd love to ask men
Here we go.
this question. When did you know you were ready to be like, yo, I'm done. Like this is the one. This is the one. Like, how did you know she was the one you wanted to marry?
It's
Like
gonna
if
sound bad, and I'm gonna just put that out there. It's gonna sound
yeah,
bad
yeah,
because I
yeah.
know this is the one question a lot of people wait for. Honestly, I didn't. It kind
Mm-hmm.
of happened, and I think internally, I'm one of those people I just don't like let stuff happen. But my guard got let down to where I was just letting it happen. Let me tell you a funny story. So, my
Yeah.
mom takes me out, right? And we're just walking around the mall. Me and my mom relationship super good. And we walked by a ring store. And I was like, "Oh, you about to get an upgrade on the engagement ring?" Now, mind you, me and Shorty probably been dating at this point for like 5, 6 months. And then she was like,
Yeah.
"No, just want to help you search for a ring." Yo, literally, I fell over on the counter and was like getting dizzy. Like I didn't know what was happening. Like I was literally on the counter, like whoa. Asked my mom word on a hand on a Bible. Like I was literally linked over the counter. Like oh my gosh, this whoa. Whoo.
Watch, chill, mom,
Ooh, I
chill.
was like, wait, whew, I can't breathe. So then, after that, she was like, "What? You know you like her?" And then she hit me with a question that I could not answer and not give a positive answer. She said, "Do you want another guy to have him?" And I was like, "Ooh,
Mm.
that hurt.
Whoa.
That hurt. Like, could you let her go and somebody else marries her?" And I will be honest. A lot of times with any other girl, I probably hit the cocky answer like, shoot, she can go, I'll get it back.
Who
Like that's
cares?
I am hype. Like I get that. But no, this one I was kinda like, ooh, wow, you ain't really have to say it like that. Like so I was like, ooh. And then you start thinking about it, like, yeah, I did see a picture with her with Facebook with this other dude. Like, I don't know about him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, you think about that. So I really got protective over that statement. And I was like, huh. So then my mom would throw like little shots, like, well, I mean, you know what Beyonce said, you like it, you gotta, what she say, you gotta put that ring on it or something like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom, you know what she said. Don't try to be funny.
But
So
like in your mind, correct me if I'm wrong, how you used to be, what did Gucci say? Miss one next 15, one coming. So if it was a
absolutely,
real, hey, if
absolutely.
it, I'm about to get hyped. If it was another shorty, it was like, okay, if somebody has her, I don't care. Do
And
you
it
know
and
who I
it, and it
am?
would and it would be, but it not. I think out of sight, out of mind played a high part of it. But then it was just like knowing the quality and the character of what I had was like,
Yeah.
she's better. Like I
Yes,
think
sir.
that's when I started saying it. Like, and I did compare, and I was kind of like, ooh. But honestly, I really didn't think about all the women I would lose. I think I just thought about losing her, and that's what changed the
Yeah.
game. Like it wasn't like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to have all these girls anymore. You're not gonna have your freedom on your phone no more. Like somebody hit you up
Yeah.
late night, it ain't just like, yo, mind your business. We not married. Like it's not that type of talk anymore. Now it's like, why she ain't hit me up?
Yeah.
Wait a second, that's a little different. I don't like that. So that was a big
Yeah.
difference. So I'll say that.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Okay.
So
I
that's how
like
I,
that.
if I was to sum up and say how I knew it was, when I started getting defensive about the possibility of somebody else marrying her, not being with her, not having sex with her, but like legit
Yeah.
marrying her. Yeah.
Like she's their person or she's the
Yeah.
thing.
She's their wife.
Got
Like
you.
I would not like
Yeah.
that. I would not like that.
All right. Then I got one more question for you.
Okay.
Wrap this joint up. What advice would you give to the younger people out here who are discussing marriage and their relationship, whether they've been
Oh,
together
what
for
advice would I give to you? Is that what you're saying? Since you said it's just a piece of paper?
there? Yeah. To me, what advice would you give to me?
You know what? I think you know me. Like we've been talking for forever now, big dog. Like
Yeah.
I think honestly, what I would say is number one, like people always say, don't rush. You got plenty of time. Like I get that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows when they're gonna die, so I won't say you got plenty of time. But I will say it's not one of
Mm.
those things you need to rush. However, you know, um, I would definitely say take your parents' opinion seriously, because
Mm-hmm.
truth be told, like my mom put me on to my wife, so I can't really say like I bagged her in a club, and it was probably God trying to humble me because he knew I'd be cocky for the rest of my life. Like, yeah, I bagged that, and I can't take no credit for it.
Yeah.
Mom had her at a hospital. Um, Met her there. I was like, oh, I got a cute son. She came over for Sunday dinner, and then the rest was like history. So I can't take credit, but it's interesting that like looking at it hindsight, like my mom knew exactly what I needed, but not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily what I wanted. And when I got it,
Yeah.
I almost was like, yo, that's not my speed. Like I don't really she mom, I mean, thanks, but I'm about to dog her
Yeah.
out. Especially in the
I'm
state of
Gucci.
relationships that I was in, period. Like I wasn't ready to
Yeah.
be in no other relationship. Like it was borderline about to go buck wild in these streets. So
And
like
Zoe Fresh.
oh,
Zoe
you
Fresh.
already know.
Zoe
You
Fresh.
already
You
know.
know?
You already know. Shout out to Fort Eustis, but we ain't going there. So, so, so yeah. Like I don't know, man. Like I think the advice I would give to you is, you know, take your time, and when
Mm-hmm.
you finally realize, like, yo, I don't want another dude with her, and definitely don't want another dude making her his wife, and you really care, like not like a jealousy, like I don't want nobody else. touching my girl. Not like that.
Yeah.
It's different. This is like somebody else is going to have what is a great woman. When you really feel that, and you'll feel it. Any married
Mm-hmm.
man will tell you. That's why you don't mess with no married man's woman. That'll get you killed. That'll really get you killed, and that ain't no joke. Because it's a different desire for a woman when you talk about a married woman. Now
Yeah.
people be playing with fire all the time. Like what I'm saying,
You
that's
get
on
burnt.
them. But I will say, like, for a guy, when he knows, it's like, yeah, I don't know if I can just let her go with some other dude. I don't know. I gotta, and then that's when it automatically, like I said, it's like almost like a natural tendency. All right, and I ain't gonna lie, like I don't think I really like told girls, look, I'm getting married tomorrow, like leave me alone.
Yeah.
But it would be more stuff flashing up on Facebook to where like what's popping in the smoke. Especially when I did the engagement on the wrong hand. That joint's funny to me still. But like when I got
Hey.
engaged and put the ring on the wrong hand, like I'm sure that sends some rhythms and routines through the Facebook community. Like, yo, what? And Instagram and all that. So I will definitely say, like, you naturally start to do stuff that is like exposing you to like, yo, you're not a player anymore. Like, are you really
Yeah.
hanging up your jersey? And even when girls ask that question, you almost get kind of defensive. Like, what do you mean hanging up a jersey? Like, yo, me and Shorty chilling right now. Like, you try to go back into your old zone, but you're really not your
Yeah.
old self anymore. Like, you're
You're
different
done.
now. You're different. It's like, yeah, but you don't really say yeah at first. Then when you start, yeah, I see you got a fiance. Then it's more like, yeah, it's no defense anymore. It's like
Yeah.
you used to playing that player role, like, nah, but it's really not that serious though. Like, no,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it is. Especially when you realize how much you drop on rings, then it's really serious. It's really serious. I was paying my mom off for like 3 years. Like it was really serious. So,
I
um,
like that.
so that's what I say. Take your mom's and your dad's in that vice versa situation. Opinion serious because they're gonna see things. And even my pops was like, "Yo, I'm trying to make sure she don't just look at you as like, some little young thing." Because my wife's older, not by much, but like 2 years. But he was
Yeah.
looking at her like she already got a career. She just looking for somebody, hit the sheets with, and then she out
Yeah.
going to her next duty station, or does she really love my son? And then my mom was like, is she really going to be able to care for my son as a black man, and not to knock
Yeah.
anybody's nationality, but like, as like, she doesn't look black by any means. Like, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She definitely looks mixed, but like for her to be able to stand beside or behind and not let me get beat down, but be there for me
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, I think is huge. And I think that's what my mom checked because that's what I used to use her for. Like my mom's emotion to be like, yo, it's really tough out here, and see me broke down and things like that. And and watching her even when I graduated, my whole family left when I got my master's because it was definitely raining cats and
Hey.
dogs. And Shorty was still there in the rain. And black women don't be playing with her hair. Like I said, she looked mixed, but
Real
she got black
talk.
women hair. But she definitely stayed out in that rain for that and made sure she saw me get that diploma. And I really think now, hindsight, like 5, 6 years later, she was definitely probably watching to make sure I ain't got no hoochies out there. Like, who else
Hey,
is
you
checking for
already
him?
know.
He just got his master's and he's about to be a principal. We about to block all that. But
Real
anyway,
talk.
hindsight is 2020. But I mean, at the end of the day, she definitely did hold me down. And yeah, man, I think that would be my advice, man. Trust your mom's reaction, trust your pops, and then of course, when you start to naturally just be cool with exposing your relationship, then she's probably the
Yeah.
one. If you're not, she's not. She's not. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
and again, it doesn't matter how bad she is. Like it'll be a bragging purpose. Like yeah, she's tough, but like she got a couple of
Yeah.
issues. She crazy. She whack. But like if it's like nah, she a little nerd, but she's so cool with me. Like I rock with it. Like I got a little nerd. Then you start justifying her faults with yours. Like she a little nerd, but so am I. Ain't really perfect. I got my
Yeah.
flaws.
Yeah.
When you start humbling yourself down to kind of meet her at her level, you already know something's shaking with that. So yeah, man, that's gonna be my statement on that one.
Man, I like that. I do.
And
I don't got
that's
any
real.
more.
I don't know how else I could tell it to you. That's just real.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we keep it raw and uncut on here. I like
That's
that. You know
all
what I
we
mean?
do on the Den and Hype.
Hey, you keeping it raw and uncut. We gotta appreciate each other. Like Real talk.
I
That's
appreciate
definitely
that.
some good game right there.
It is, and it's straight real. I promise. I can't even make it up. Like even if I try, because it's so authentic. Like that is legit. You ask me 10 years from now, I'll tell you the same story. Like
Yeah.
it ain't this fairy tale wedding. Let me tell you that right now, ladies and guys too. Like it ain't gonna be no we married and everything. No, it's work, and that's what you got to realize. But I mean, my little drop of jewel of knowledge. Usually I let Dev do it, but this one I'm gonna drop. Like, and this is real. Like the next yard, I swear, yo, an old school cat told me this. The next yard or the next door yard might look really sweet, and if you don't know what I'm talking about another relationship, talking
I know
about
where
an
you going
old
with this.
flame that you had, talking about anything that ain't your wife, that ain't your husband. Like it might be a nice next door yard, but if you ain't watering your own grass, how you think your yard's gonna look? So what does that mean? You got to put work into your marriage to make it pop, to make it what you want. And Lord knows, please be honest of what you want, like in all facets, whether that be sexually, whether that be physically, whether that be mentally, like let them know exactly what you like. Perfect example. Told my wife, I was like, yo, honestly, I like your nails and stuff to be done, man. Like that's what I like,
Oh,
like,
oh,
but
you
you would
have a
be
nice foot.
but you would be surprised how many dudes would be like, yo, I'm mad she be rocking chip fingernail polish and all this. Have you told her? Yeah, honestly, I don't want to hurt her feelings. You don't want to hurt her
Shit.
feelings. You over there staring at old girls' feet and old girls' hands, but your joints could look like that if you just be like, yo, so surprise her. Yo, let me take you for a pedicure. And then really compliment that. Yo, your feet is off the hook. And ladies, let me tell you something right now. I don't
Talk
care
to him.
what your man say. He likes pretty feet. There's
Oh,
nothing like, I guarantee you. Set him up too. Go to a little foot fetish page and let him see some toesies, and I guarantee he's gonna like that. So don't act like, oh, I don't really want to do that, or that's gross. And please, Lord, that's another thing. Don't ever say anything he likes is gross, because there's some woman out there that loves it. So don't say
real
that.
talk.
If it makes you feel uncomfortable, just be like, all right, that's a little different, but maybe I can get down with it. Because if your man likes it, he likes it. Point blank and period. Don't ever make him feel like he can't express himself physically, because I'm telling
Real
you right
talk.
now,
Ah,
it is gonna be a woman that is going to like that and be like, oh, he a freak. Girls like that. Trust me, I know. And same thing for guys. If a girl likes something crazy, now granted, there's only so far I can go with certain
there's
things. Like,
limits.
yeah, it is certain things that you're not going in certain places and I'm your boy. We just gonna cut that
Exact.
out. But for the most part, I definitely would be pretty wide open with my wife to be able to say like, yo, we could definitely get down. You trying to get in some baby diapers, I'm in there too. Like that's just what I would do, because that's
The
what we
baby
got.
diapers.
And I know that joint's not going anywhere because that is mine. That's another benefit. That's yours. You know
Yeah.
exactly what you want to do with it, and that's just it. So that I think that's it. I didn't want to drop too much dollars, but I mean, I definitely got to be honest in the fact that that is a huge benefit for me.
Yeah, real talk, man. It was definitely good talking to you, especially for somebody who isn't married. I know it's a lot of dudes that are my age that aren't married, and I'm pretty sure they're thinking about marriage, or they might have been like me, like, oh, marriage is this, marriage is that, and it's definitely good to hear it from somebody like you, dog. Like
I
it's good
appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
to hear how beneficial marriage is. Like it's not something that it's just a piece of paper. It's not something you just go out and do. Like, nah, like you said, till death do us part. Like that's real.
Absolutely.
Till death do us part.
And it really is. And another cool thing is when you find that one, and I've definitely, this isn't something I realized like after a couple of years. Like I'm just realizing now, like all my faults are like super strong in her,
Mm-hmm.
and all her weaknesses are super strong with me.
So like a
And
balance.
it is legit a balance.
Okay.
It's frustrating because that's what causes most of the arguments. But like realizing it and having to face that is kind of like, oh, like you, like I, like accounting. She's a beast with that. I hate looking at numbers. Like that's not my
Real
thing.
talk.
But for her, she loves it. So like it works. For her, she's not really confrontational. Somebody messes up my food, I'm going to the manager and be like, yo, we need to fix this ASAP right now.
Customer service is essential.
Oh, you already know how we feel about
I
that.
already
No
know.
bad customer service, and that's another topic for another day. But yeah,
Another
man,
day.
that I think that's it, man. Like marriage is a beautiful thing. Definitely more than a piece of paper. Trust me, definitely more than a piece of paper.
Yeah, I got you. Well, listen, y'all heard it. Marriage is a beautiful thing, right? We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna end it off like this. We appreciate y'all watching.
Absolutely.
Like, comment, subscribe, share. If you feel we're wrong, yo, let us know. All right, let us know.
Because we can't get better if y'all don't share that knowledge. And that's what we want to hear. So, without further ado, it was a pleasure, my guy. And we
Real
are
talk.
out of here, man.
We out.
Adios.